Imagine stepping into an arena surrounded by thousands of screaming spectators, knowing the next moments could decide your fate. Victory would bring glory, but failure, certain death. This was the life of a gladiator, Rome's ultimate warriors, entertainers, and sometimes martyrs. But who were they really? How did they live, train, and fight for survival? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating, brutal, and often surprising life of the gladiators of ancient Rome. So, buckle up. This is a story of blood, glory, and resilience. Let's start with the basics. Who were these men and occasionally women that fought in the arena? Contrary to what Hollywood might have you believe, gladiators weren't all muscle-bound freeborn warriors volunteering for fame. In reality, many gladiators were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals sentenced to fight as punishment. But not all gladiators fought against their will. Some free men, yes. Free men chose the life of a gladiator. Why? Well, for the chance to rise from obscurity to fame, for money, or simply because they had nothing left to lose. Think of it like today's extreme sports. People risk life and limb for glory, for adrenaline, for a shot at being remembered. The same went for the gladiators, though their risks were much higher. Gladiators weren't just thrown into the arena without preparation. They trained in specialized schools called ludi, overseen by a lanista, essentially, a ruthless coach/manager. Think of this as a cross between boot camp and a reality show elimination round. Only the strongest survived. Gladiators were trained in various fighting styles, often based on their weapons and armor. For example, the retiarius fought with a net and trident, relying on speed and precision. Meanwhile, the murmillo carried a large shield and sword, focusing on brute force and endurance. Imagine this like today's sports teams. Each gladiator type had its own strategy, strengths, and fan base. Some fans cheered for the quick and nimble, while others loved the heavy hitters. But make no mistake, training was brutal. Injuries were common, and if you weren't strong enough, you didn't survive long enough to see the arena. Outside the arena, gladiators lived a strange, double life. On one hand, they were celebrities. People would stop them in the streets, ask for autographs, the ancient equivalent, buy trinkets with their names on them, and even compose songs in their honor. But here's the twist. Gladiators were also seen as the lowest of the low, a step above slaves. They were admired for their skill, but shunned for their profession. It was like being a superstar and an outcast at the same time. And let's not forget the danger they faced, even off the battlefield. Rivalries among gladiators were common, and some were killed by jealous competitors or even betrayed by their lanista. Now, let's get to the heart of the action, the arena itself. Imagine the scene. Tens of thousands of people screaming, the emperor seated in his box, all eyes on you. Gladiators entered the arena with a salute. Morituri te salutant. We who are about to die salute you. The fights were choreographed to some extent, not to protect the gladiators, but to make the fights more entertaining. Think of it like modern-day wrestling meets MMA, but with real blood. Sometimes the crowd demanded a dramatic fight to the death, while at other times, mercy was shown. A thumbs up meant mercy. Thumbs down? Death. But here's an interesting twist. Most fights didn't end in death. Why? Gladiators were expensive to train, and losing a good fighter was bad business. Gladiators didn't just fight, they left a legacy. Their stories inspired legends. Their names became immortal, and their spirit of resilience lives on today. Look at modern combat sports, boxing, wrestling, MMA. The roots of these competitions trace back to the gladiators. Even in our entertainment, from movies like Gladiator to video games, their influence is undeniable. The story of the gladiators reminds us of the power of the human spirit to endure, to fight, and to rise no matter the odds. The life of a gladiator was brutal, but it was also extraordinary. It was a life of struggle, sacrifice, and survival, but also one of resilience, determination, and glory. Their lives teach us that even in the face of unimaginable challenges, the human spirit is capable of rising above. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of a gladiator. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And tell me in the comments, what would you do if you had to fight for your life in the Colosseum? Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep rising. This is Elevated Corner. See you soon.